Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. This episode is called Car Parts Arbitrage, buying car parts that will double in value. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, follow, and comment on the show. Also, I'd like to tell you about a service called HollywoodIsCalling.com. It allows you to purchase live calls with more than 100 celebrities. You can purchase calls with movie stars, TV stars, athletes, VIPs, all sorts of inspiring people. You can purchase a call for yourself or for somebody you care about as a gift. A live 15-second call is $19.95 and a live 30-second call is $29.95. So buy yourself a gift or buy someone else a birthday or a Christmas or a holiday gift. They will love it. There's nothing better than getting a live call from a celebrity to make your day. So give it a try. HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now let's get started. Are you an aspiring car collector or enthusiast who would love to start collecting classic cars that you think will dramatically increase in price, but you just don't have enough money to start collecting them? Well, there's a new way that will allow you to make a lot of money in the car game. It's called Car Parts Arbitrage, and it will allow you to make money off the explosive price growth in classic car parts, but it'll allow you to do it in a very reasonable way. If you go online and you start researching which classic cars are expected to appreciate in price the most dramatically over the coming years, you'll be shocked at how the price for some of them is skyrocketing. Some classic cars are appreciating much more quickly than real estate, stocks, or other Wall Street investments. The problem is that most everyday people cannot afford to purchase an entire classic car. They can't afford a 1930 Duesenberg or a 1961 Corvette. The prices are just too high. However, a lot of people might be able to afford to buy a headlight or a fender or a hood ornament from a Duesenberg or an old Corvette. So how do you get into the car parts arbitrage business? First of all, you have to know what you're doing. You must build up your car parts knowledge and expertise. You have to be able to do exhaustive research and market studies so that you can make buying and selling decisions very intelligently. Any moron can go out and buy an old headlight that looks like it belongs to a Duesenberg, but is it really a Duesenberg headlight? What year is it? How's the condition? Does it work? Is it a counterfeit? Is the patina on that headlight real, or is it fake patina? Because the whole thing was made by foreign counterfeiters who sell fake car parts by the millions each year. What is the realistic wholesale price of that headlight? And how much could you make it if you tried to sell it online today? What is the trending price of that headlight? Are the prices trending up or are they trending down? Should you restore it or is it worth more just the way it is? What's the best way to sell it? Are there classic car parts out there that are appreciating more quickly than the Duesenberg parts you're thinking about getting? These are all really important questions, and if you love classic cars and are really passionate about trying to get into the business to make money with them, then you will need to educate yourself so that others can't take advantage of you when you buy or sell these things. Here's another question for you. Should you specialize in one make or model, or should you go broad spectrum and try and buy and sell classic car parts from a wide variety of great old cars? Let's try and answer some of your questions. First of all, you need to do a great deal of research online to see what parts are appreciating quickly and which parts are just rotting in the junkyard or in some old barn somewhere because nobody really wants them. Once you determine where the money in the market is, then you need to determine which type of car parts you have the budget for. Once you make those business decisions and you've thoroughly researched and analyzed the market in a way that makes you feel you really know what you're doing when it comes to pricing, then you can begin. Go online and Google list best sites online to buy and sell classic car parts. This will give you an entire listing of the best companies online to buy and sell classic parts from. There you can review the pricing and the quality and the condition of the parts on the market to get a better sense for which way things are headed. Here's what you have to remember. The money you make on classic parts will be made when you buy them, not when you sell them. You have to find and buy these parts at a great price, otherwise you won't be able to sell them at a profit, or perhaps not at all. You don't want to spend $1,000 on a classic car hood ornament and then have it sit on the shelf for 2 years because you paid too much for it and there's just no demand at your current price. That is why it is so important to do a tremendous amount of research before you begin to spend money. Once you're ready to start, you also want to establish your own brand. That means putting up a professional website that will show the market that you and your company are to be taken seriously and that you can be trusted by other customers. So now you're out there looking for parts you can make money on. How do you start? I would start by personally calling a few classic car restoration companies to try and get advice on what cars are trending upward and what kind of parts there is a great deal of demand for. The next thing you want to do is to start watching the various car sites for classic cars that are in terrible condition. Cars that are in such bad shape that the owner is having trouble selling the car. I would then ask them if they would be willing to sell the car part by part. The truth of the matter is that some old classic cars can be worth more if you just sell the parts off than if you were to just try and sell the entire vehicle. If you're starting off on a really modest budget, then something you may want to consider is acquiring the car parts on consignment and then finding buyers for them so that you can collect a commission on the transaction without ever having to actually buy the part. Sometimes the fender or the engine or the hood of a classic car can cost $10,000 or $20,000, which means you would have to put that money up just to buy the part and have it sit there while you try to find a buyer. That is a lot of capital to tie up for a potentially long period of time. Creating an online classic parts consignment brokerage, which allows you to locate the parts, get them under contract, and then find a buyer for them, which would allow you to collect a commission on the sale, might be a better business model for some people. The next thing you have to keep in mind is that a lot of people and automated computer programs are out there already scouring the marketplace looking for the same deals you are. So how are you going to make money competing against all these people? Well, one thing you should do after you set your company website up is to record YouTube videos of yourself going out to car shows and outdoor car markets looking for deals. The more people see you doing this on YouTube and other social media sites, the more you will get known in the marketplace and the more comfortable people will get approaching you and possibly doing business with you. Once your YouTube channel builds up a following of fans, then you can benefit from all that free advertising by letting everyone know that if they have a part they want you to sell or a part they want you to find, then they can contact you online and use your brokerage service. If you're going to arbitrage these parts and do the whole process by consignment, then your biggest investment in the beginning might just be all the time you will spend trying to put these deals together. Another thing you have to do is to look for parts where most people are not willing to look. That may mean checking for car parts sites in South America. It may mean going online and checking for car parts sites in Eastern Europe. You may need to spend a lot of time checking out estate sale listings in local papers. You may also need to run an ad every day on Craigslist, letting people know that you'll pay top dollar for classic car parts and ask them to contact you. Like with all businesses, you have to accept that you probably will not get rich quickly. You'll have to persist for years to build up your expertise, your company, your reputation, and your brand so that you can eventually make serious money. Once you begin to do your research, you will no doubt find that most people love classic sports cars, especially convertible two-door sports cars. That seems to be the market sweet spot that so many buyers place a premium on. If you ever watch any of the car renovation shows on cable, you'll notice that almost all of them love to restore classic sports cars because they know that's where the money is, and that's where the largest pool of buyers is. Now, there are two paths you can take. You can create and build a classic car parts company to try and make it as successful as possible for the long term, or you can just buy and sell classic car parts long enough to generate enough money to get you into the actual selling of real classic cars. Once you make enough money to buy and sell classic cars, then your profits should increase dramatically. Of course, there's no reason you can't continue doing both. Buying and selling both car parts and entire classic cars could be a very nice way to dramatically increase the odds of you succeeding. No matter what you do, there is something I want to repeat one more time just so you realize how important it is. Remember, all the profit you'll make will be made on the purchase, not the sale. You have to buy at a price low enough so that you can make enough money to sell at a reasonable and hopefully sizable profit. In fact, that may be as important as finding the actual car part itself. It does you absolutely no good to find a rare car part if you can't get it at a price low enough to allow you to make a good profit on it in a reasonable amount of time. There's no point in buying it if you have to sell it at a price that'll take a year or two to recover and make a profit on. One last thing. Try and find a niche of some sort. Analyze the current classic parts market and try and come up with a way to do something unique or better that can attract more customers to you. That can make a real difference. So thank you for watching, and we will talk to you soon.